So in this lecture, we are going to create our data source. So let's click on the data source section and then add a data source. So we can have multiple type of data sources from where we can pick our data and index in our cognitive search. So one of the option is Cosmos DB. Let's choose that. Now I'm going to name my data source as property-ds and choose existing connection for our Cosmos DB account. Then we need to choose the database, which is TGG, and then the collection under it. So we created property collection. We are going to give a select query here, which is going to pick data from our Cosmos DB collection and make it available to our indexer under search service. Now I'm going to select all the data from my Cosmos collection and all the fields, but you can also have a limited set of data from your Cosmos collection to be indexed in an index. But there can be scenarios where you want multiple indexes created out of same Cosmos DB, and to do that you can have multiple data sources created mapped to each index, and each one will have a different select query to pick data from Cosmos DB. Now I'm going to select all the data, but there's an option of high watermark order by the timestamp in your Cosmos DB collection to just pick incremental data. So let's say your Cosmos DB keep getting new data and you want to index your new data every few hours, every day. Then you can use this @high watermark order by c._ts in your query condition to pick only the new data. So this high watermark is tracked internally by your Azure search service, and only incremental or new data coming into your Cosmos DB will be indexed. We will see that in an example later on, but for now I'm going to just select all the data. So that's my query right now. We're not going to track any deletions in Cosmos DB. So this is a soft delete. If you want to track deletions in your Cosmos DB, you can have a flag, something like is deleted as true or false. So when that flag is true in your Cosmos DB, your indexer will track that and keep on deleting the data from your index as well. We'll see an example of this as well later on, but for now I'm not going to choose this, and then just create my data source. So my data source is ready. I'll go back to my index, refresh it, and that's it. Now if I click back on my data source, there will be another option to edit it in the JSON file. Now in this data source you can edit your queries and data source directly. So you can see it's the same text, the name of your data source, the type of data source is Cosmos DB, our connection string, then your container name, and the query we want to run. So that's all for our data source. In the next lecture we are going to create an index, and to do that we are also going to create an index schema. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.